do it that way. So we're getting ready to be joined, ladies and gentlemen, by a candidate for Nevada's 3rd District, Congressional District, Sbaih. And he's running as a Bernie Sanders Democrat. I will ask him about Bill Clinton. He was just there with Bill Clinton, so we're going to ask him about Bill Clinton. But when he calls in, we'll continue that conversation. Until I get him there, you can join the conversation, 857-600-0518. And actually, no, don't call in. Keep that line clear for the congressman or the candidate for Congress. You can tweet me at the BPD show, and I am in the chat rooms now checking out your messages and your comments. And then we'll get out of here and go watch the Democratic Forum. I forgot it was tonight. Otherwise, I would have started later. So now I'm going to make a hard stop because we have attorney Sbaih on the line. Attorney Sbaih, am I pronouncing your last name correctly, first of all?
It's yes, Sbaih. Yes, exactly.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us through the phone line. It's a much better connection here. We wanted to get a chance to, I know you're in the event, so we'll just keep the interview as quickly as we can. I wanted to get a chance to have my audience and people who are going to be listening to this later find out who you are as a progressive running in Nevada in the 3rd District, and tell us more about your platform, what you represent, what you stand for. So before we jump into all that, just tell us who you are and why are you running for this position?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your audience listening in and watching you tonight. Let me begin a little bit about myself. People often ask me, why are you running for Congress? I'm an attorney. I've been a trial attorney for many years. My wife is a physician here in the district, in Nevada 3rd Congressional District. We have 3 lovely children. And I get asked often, why are you running? And I tell people it's really simple for me. I love our country, I love our community, and I really love the American dream. And let me tell you why, Ben. See, about 29 years ago, I was an 11-year-old boy. So really didn't know much about the world. My father was a successful attorney. My mother was an English teacher. And my parents had a dream to provide their son Jesse and his siblings with a better life. And that better life could only be found in a country called America. So we immigrated from Jordan, a staunch ally of the United States, and we landed in Chesapeake, Virginia. Then when I arrived, then I was 11 years old. I didn't speak any English. I had to carry a dictionary on with me for a couple of years to speak with my teachers, friends, classmates, and everybody I met. And thanks to the wonderful American people who helped me and embraced me from day one, they took the time to teach me English, and they invested the time and the effort to do that. And I'm really forever grateful for that. So when I was about 12 years old, shortly after we came as an immigrant with no extended family and no connections, we began to struggle financially, Ben. And so my parents would not dream of asking anyone for help. So as a result, I had to stand up and help my family survive financially. So at the age of 12, I began working as a dishwasher. Started washing dishes at an Italian restaurant in Virginia to help my family survive. So worked many hours as a young man, a youngster. There were many nights where I had to work late into the evening washing dishes and go home and pretty much study all night for a test the next day. And it was really difficult. But despite all the difficulties, man, I was really grateful for the sacrifices my parents made for me, and for the opportunity to be part of this great nation. And the more this great country gave me, the more I wanted to give back. And thanks to the opportunities this great nation has given me, I was able to graduate with honors from high school, get a scholarship to University of Miami in Florida, where I majored in economics and political science. I went off to law school on a scholarship and graduated near the top of my class. And then I had the privilege of working for the Vice Chief Justice in the Supreme Court after law school. And for the past 10 years or so, I've had my own law firm, a small business where I employ outstanding people from our community here in Nevada. And so I'm immensely grateful for those opportunities that I've been given, and thanks to the American people and the opportunities this great country has given me, I've been able to accomplish the American dream. But sadly, I feel like the American dream is slipping away from far too many Americans. And I want to make sure that we do give the people the hope, and we want to give people a dream, and reestablish the American dream.
Okay, so I love that story. Thank you for sharing that, and your willingness to tie your success and appreciate the ability for you to get that success with so many Americans who currently are left out of that success. So just a personal thanks for me, because that's something that's very, very, very key to me and what I represent and what I stand for. Let me ask you a couple of key questions.
Sure.
What makes you, you've been labeled, and what I've seen online, I've seen some of your other interviews, that you really support and represent what Bernie Sanders stands for. So let's start there. What particular policies do you like that Bernie Sanders is espousing, that if you were to make it into Congress with or without Bernie Sanders in the White House, what would you continue to push in your progressive agenda?
Yes, and that's a great question. I know people are struggling out there. There are many issues facing our country and facing my constituents in the 3rd Congressional District. And what I want really through this campaign, I want people to dare to dream, man. I've walked my district so many times and spoken to so many people. People are sick and tired of the status quo. They're sick and tired of the establishment. They're sick and tired of being told who to vote. And they're sick and tired of just being left behind. Mm-hmm. And I can't stand for that. And I'm frustrated just as much as they are. Mm-hmm. And I want people to start to dare to dream. I want them to dare to dream about health care for everyone. It should be a right. There's no question that it should be a right in this great nation. We can't have people in this great nation in 2016 who lack basic health insurance. We can't have that anymore. We need to dream about universal health care. We also need to dream about, we need to have the best college education for our people. They deserve it. An educated society is a productive society. Mm-hmm. And we can start that by making sure that students who do well in school, in high school, mm-hmm. 3.0 or higher, they should have the right to go to college for free. Okay. Nobody should be denied college based on how much their parents work, how much their parents make. Mm-hmm. Nobody should be denied that opportunity. Not in America. Not today. Not in 2016.
Okay.
So right. when I get to Congress, I want to make sure, and I'm gonna work really hard to make sure that students who have a 3.0 or higher get free college tuition. But there's a caveat to that, Ben. Okay, if they don't take advantage of that opportunity, they will have to pay that money back if they don't graduate or if they drop out of school.
I can dig that.
And that would be considered a loan.
Yeah. No, I can totally. Yeah, you don't want to throw away the investment, right? So that's absolutely, in my opinion, I think that's a fair requirement. Okay, so let me ask a couple of key questions. You said something in there about the establishment, and before we switched over from the video hangout over to the phone call, you mentioned that you're at an event with Bill Clinton getting ready to speak. Tell me how you feel about the Democratic establishment, which is for me and my audience, it's a very real thing. And for me personally, I think someone like Bill Clinton he's the epitome of the Democratic establishment. How do you find your relationship falling in that? How do you fall in that nexus, right? Between being pulled towards the establishment by someone like Bill Clinton and your progressivism that may not on every occasion fall in line with the Democratic establishment? What do you do?
Well, I'm actually tonight here. We're going to have the privilege of having Bernie Sanders here tonight as well. Okay. And Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is going to be here at this event that I'm at tonight. And,
awesome.
President Bill Clinton is going to be the main speaker here. Listen, at the end of the day, what really bothers me about the establishment is they anoint, preordain, mm-hmm. and they put people up to run for office. And they just expect people to follow, okay? And people have done that for years. But as we were saying with Senator Sanders, the American people have woken up. It's not politics as usual anymore, mm-hmm. okay? And so I disagree with that method. I think we live in a democracy that everybody who's ready, willing, and able to serve our country and give it 110% should have the opportunity to run for office and win and not be blocked. And here's the other thing that bothers me about the establishment is the flow of super PAC money. So whoever they anoint and whoever they preordain, then that person gets all the money in the world to try to trash the other person, right? And that's what it's all about. They're trashing the other person so they don't have an opportunity to win. And we saw what happened recently with the ban on lobbyist
Being
donations. That President Obama put that in place for a reason, because it should not. We don't need that kind of money in politics. And unfortunately, the establishment went back and lifted that ban that was there for the right reason or for the right purpose. So it's a bit frustrating, that what the establishment is doing. We need to take this dark money, and that's what it goes into campaign finance reform. We need to take the dark money, super PAC money, out of this political process. It's really corrupting the process. It's diluting people's votes, and we should not have that in a great nation like this, where money rules and billionaires and corporations can buy elections. We need to make sure when I'm elected, I want to make sure that we resolve that problem. This is one of the most serious problems facing our nation in this day and age.
Okay, let me ask you a few more questions, then I'll let you go. I don't know if you have about 3 more minutes to give me. If you could, that'd be good. All right, great. So let's say a couple of things here. So the first one I want to ask you about is, let's say you get the this primary, you win the primary, which means you'll be running against the Republican candidate in the general election. You will then be inundated by the very structure that you just described, because they will be coming to support you, all hands on deck to lift you up, to help you beat your Republican opponent. How do you stay above the fray? How do you not get absorbed into that exact same structure? Because if you win this primary, they're coming to wrap their arms around you very tightly.
Right. Well, I think we have a great example in Senator Bernie Sanders. He has stayed away from super PAC money. His contributions have been made by just average citizens who care about our country and care about the future of our country, who believe in his vision. And I do have a vision that almost mirrors Senator Sanders' vision for this great nation and taking this great nation to greater heights. So at the end of the day, I will not, and I can tell you, and I will go on the record, I will not succumb to super PAC money. No matter what, my campaign will continue, and will continue to be a campaign for the people and by the people.
Okay. All right, great. Let me follow up with a question on the college conversation that we had, because as I was sitting here and I thought about it, I personally think that your plan to your suggestion that if someone doesn't finish college, it converts into a loan. Where is it simply finishing college, or is there a time limit? Because some students, let's say someone coming from an underprivileged community, may take longer, right? It took me 8 years to get my BA. Now, after that, I blew through my master's and I'm almost doing my PhD. So, that's besides the point. Yeah, but it took me 8 years to get my first degree. Are you proposing a time limit on completion, or is it just a hard, fast, you have to finish, and there's really no time limit on that? Because that could be kind of shaky for someone coming from a background like mine.
That's a great point. And I think the point is the individual needs to finish. And there will be some exceptions. There's illness, family emergencies, things like that may arise that were unforeseeable at the time the individual entered school. So for those, there will be exceptions for that. If somebody has to leave school for some reason or another, sure, it doesn't convert into a loan right away. And I think my plan would contemplate perhaps a year. After a year, if that person does not return to school, then it would convert into a loan. But in the meantime, to address your question directly, there would be no time limit. People have different circumstances. Sometimes they have children, they have jobs that they need to go to, or both, and they can't go to school full time. Right. Everybody has circumstances. So as long as that person is enrolled, at least part-time in school, they will get that benefit of having paid tuition.
Absolutely, because that's the only reason I'm right now still in this PhD program, because life happens, right? And my perfect example is I'm having to take 2 semesters off, but I only have a year. And after these 2 semesters off, I have to get back in, or else, so I think that's very fair. And I wanted to make sure we had a chance to clear that up. 2 more questions, and then I'm going to let you go. Number one,
sure.
Alex Singer, we just had him on our show on Tuesday night. Great guy, running for the same district, very progressive, very strong on the issues. Have you had a chance to debate with him, to unpack the issues, or what do you know about his campaign? Would you be willing to debate or speak? I'm just throwing this out here. There's nothing that he said. I just want to know, we have two Bernie Sanders Democrats running in the same district, and, we want to support both of you, but only one of you can win. So tell me, what do you know about Alex's campaign, and have you guys done any debates or anything like that?
I saw we had a Q&A with Alex earlier this, when was it? Last week.
Mm-hmm.
It was last Monday. And he's a nice guy. He's 29 years old. I think he's passionate about our country. I think this is a true democracy when you have people of different backgrounds and different ages and diverse. I mean, when you have a diverse candidate, I think it's great. I think it gives people the opportunity to choose instead of having just one
Mm-hmm.
that had his or her path cleared by the establishment, where you have various choices. So I think ultimately it's going to be up to the people to decide. I'm proud to say that I just got a huge endorsement from the Democracy for America. So they believe in me, and they believe in my ability to win this race.
Okay.
Over Alex and over Jackie Rosen, who's the establishment candidate. And I'm going to continue to work hard. And I think it's going to be ultimately, this is what this great nation is founded on. And this is what many people died for, is the right to vote.
Absolutely.
To give us the right to vote. And so people on the primary is going to be June 14th. So between now and then, Alex, myself, and Jackie Rosen will have to reach out to the voters, and it'll be up to them. Regarding debating Alex, I'm happy to debate anybody, anytime, any place. I think it's very important.
I like that spirit.
That we all reach out to the voters and let the voters see where we stand, and so everything is nice and transparent, and so they can make an informed decision.
I love that spirit. Anytime, any place, anywhere. And if no one else does it for you, I'm sure we can get it set up here, an online debate. Last but not least, and I think the most important, what is your gut feeling overall on the ground game there in Nevada for Democrats as a whole, Bernie Sanders in specific, and even your campaign? What is the ground game looking like there?
Oh man, I wish you were here. It is amazing. I have never seen an election cycle like this ever in the state of Nevada. It is absolutely unbelievable, electric around here. People are so excited about the two candidates, and they're very, very excited about our caucus on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
For those Nevadans listening to this show tonight, please go out and caucus and vote for your favorite candidate. And it's just absolutely incredible, Ben. I mean, the energy and the overall environment is terrific. We've done a lot of, as far as my campaign is concerned, we've been doing a lot of great things. We've been very active talking to people, and I have excellent staff who are doing a great job. And so my campaign is in really good shape. In the past few days, we've done a lot of work to help Bernie Sanders win the caucus here in Nevada. We've sent out over 100,000 emails asking people to go and caucus for him. We did some robocalls for him. We got about 3,000. I think my staff told me about 3,000 people pre-registered for the caucus.
Wow.
To go caucus for him. Also, I recorded a radio ad this morning. It's going to run tomorrow and Saturday prior to the caucus. It's a 30-second radio ad to help get people to go out and basically introduce them to Senator Sanders and let them know what kind of things he's going to do for us once he's elected president.
Awesome.
And to urge them to join me in supporting Senator Sanders on Saturday and caucus for him.
Awesome. Listen, Jesse, Attorney Sbaih, I definitely appreciate your time. Would you do us a favor and tell everyone what we can do to help support you and where we can find you?
Yeah, please. Listen, if you're listening and you're from Nevada or Southern Nevada, Clark County, please, I would love, we need volunteers. Volunteers are great, and if you would help us, would be great. And if you're from my district, please vote. And I would appreciate it. I would be honored if you would vote for me. Also, we need contributions, and my campaign is built on contributions from amazing people like you, Ben, and your listeners who truly care about our democracy, and they care about the future of our country, and they want to see our country go to greater heights. We're the greatest nation in the world, and we just need to continue working to always improve in what we're doing. So please, if you're able to contribute, that would be greatly appreciated. You can find me on, you can go to my website, or you can sign up to volunteer and to contribute if you're able. Every dollar counts. My website is vote, Sbaih, SBAIH.com. When you're on my website, there's links for my Twitter handle and for my Facebook page. So please go to my Facebook and just try to learn as much as you about me as you can. And if you have any questions, I'm very available. I'll just try to make myself available for questions. There's a phone number on the website. There's an email on the website. So feel free to contact me with any questions you may have.
Awesome. Now, I'm going to hold you to what you said earlier. You'll debate anyone, anytime, any place, anywhere. We'll be reaching out to you to see if we can take you up on that offer.
Thank you so much. I look forward to it. And thank you so much for making the time for me tonight, and for your audience for listening to me. I'm really excited about the opportunity to represent this great nation and to help get back to the country that has given me so much and allowed me to really live the American dream that should be available for every American.
That's it right there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is attorney Jesse Sbaih. He's running for the 3rd District in Nevada. And thanks so much for joining us. And I'll let you get back to all of the festivities that you're in.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.